How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Cities Skylines, and welcome back to Vanillaville. I hope you're having a good one because I'm excited to be back. We are 4 episodes in as of this video right here, and today is the day that I am hoping that we'll get our hands on some high density zoning. Now, if you didn't watch the last episode for some reason, let me just very quickly fill you in on what we did. It was nothing too crazy, unless it kind of was. I don't really know. We basically moved all of our industry. Where we have Highland Square right now, we once had some industry. It now lives right down here, along with all of our water treatment plants, our power plants, and a few other things as well, such as garbage and public transportation, at least in terms of the bus depots themselves. We also moved our farming industry and expanded into some forestry as well. And if we go and have a look at the economy panel, and if we have a little bit of a look at our budget, at least I think it's the budget, I think this tab right here, yeah, we can see we're making pretty good money from industry. We're doing about 6,000 in income from farming, 2,500 from forestry, overall a profit of about $9,000 right there. So really not a lot to complain about in terms of industry. Now, I do, of course, want to expand these things at some point. I'd like to start making more things with these industries, but a lot of the industries are interconnected as well, so that's something we might need to explore a little bit later on, because today, like I said, I kind of want to focus on that high density zoning. We're pretty close to it. We're at 5,500-ish people. We need 6,500 sims in order to get the high density residential, commercial, industrial, well, industrial being offices, but you get the idea. We have a little bit more growth to do. Now, fortunately, because we did go ahead and get rid of the industry that used to be here, we were able to push that population up a little bit. And I think there's still a little bit of growth to be done in some of these spaces. Yeah, right here, for example, could get another building, and over here is mostly full. So really that's about the only space left to grow. And I suppose while we're here, this is this a district? This is a district. The name of it just isn't appearing. It's Daffodil Square. Of course it is. We'll add a space in there and then just take it away so the name actually appears. And I suppose we could go around these districts and just go ahead and slap an Old Town policy into those as well, just to make sure traffic isn't going through them to get to anywhere else. That way traffic is largely going to be sticking to the avenues that we have around here, which is exactly what we want traffic doing. We want it to stick to the avenues. That's what the avenues are there for. And I suppose at this point we should probably look at getting more people. So let's head up this way and let's use this space here for a little something. I think what we can do is throw some commercial zoning here and a little bit of residential zoning here. If I wanted to, I could probably also go ahead and extend these roads back a little bit. I don't think that would hurt to have some dead ends right here so that we can just squeeze a little bit more zoning in here. That way we don't need to go too crazy with building another block down this way, because that's largely what I'm trying to avoid. I really don't want to have to build another city block because I want to start getting away from the grids. That's my goal today as well. Let's get to the high density buildings, but also start moving away from the grids, because we're about 4 episodes in. We are 4 episodes in. There's no about 4 episodes. We are the 4 episodes in. I think it's time to start, shaking things up a little bit and seeing what we can do. I'm also wondering if I should swap this road out for the 6-lane road with the trees down the side, because it would kind of match what we've done with the median, and then swap those trees out for the young linden. Does that look better? I think that looks better. I do. I like that. It would also probably make more sense if these guys had dirt along the sides, but it's an 8.5-year-old game, man. I don't know what I'm expecting from it at this point. But this is good. This area actually filled up really nicely. We do have pretty good commercial demand as well, so I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and just start lining this space as well. I wasn't really planning on lining too much of this, and I don't want to go too far towards the highway, but that should get rid of a decent chunk of the commercial demand. And I think what we can also probably do is just go ahead and expand this road a little bit, because we do have these guys, the large avenue with grass, and this is just a large 2-lane road. So what I can do is put it right there and then just fill that space in with some residential as well. We're going to get some people living right on the cliffs, which I would be terrified, personally. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not amazing with heights, so I don't know that I would love living in these houses, but yeah, I'm sure they'd be valuable, right? I'm sure that's the way real estate would look at it. They're, you know, cliff top house. Well, actually, no. I don't know if they would they be valuable? I guess in a sense for that view, like you look out your back window and that's your view. That's gonna be expensive. But at the same time, you're probably kind of limited in how long you can live there because, I don't know, during like I mean, if this flooded, for example, a little bit of erosion every now and then, like within 50 years of floods, this cliff might get pushed back a little bit. I think there's like a village in England, I think, that is gradually being pushed back, and it's like within 100 years or something. I'm pretty sure it was a Tom Scott video. It's like within 100 years, the village is going to be gone or something like that because of erosion in the cliffs. I might be making that up. I might be imagining it, but I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Anyway, looking at the numbers, it does look like we're going to need to expand into another little district thing down here. So what we'll do is, well, I might actually get rid of this. I might get rid of this avenue because I'm realizing we have two avenues right next to each other, and I don't usually do that. So I think what we'll do instead, even though this is going to mess up my sizing. So what is this? This would be 1200. To do 1200 would be this. So it's 30 units. That should actually be okay. Yeah, that should be totally fine. So what we'll do is we are going to have to expand it, like I said. We'll use this guy, and we'll go to, let's see, can I line this up? I absolutely can. And then we'll go ahead and get another one of these guys, and we can run this one a little bit further, which I'm kind of willing to do, up to about there. And then all I want to do is run some roads between all of these, and this is just going to be the new block. And this, I'm pretty sure, will push us over the mark into 6,500 sims, and that's going to be exactly what we need. What I'm also going to do is go ahead and I think swap out this road. I'm going to keep the median though, just to be a little bit different. I think what we'll do is do the median with the grass down the middle, and we'll do this as well. And yes, that messes up some zoning, but honestly, that's okay. We can go ahead and get rid of some of the buildings here as well, just to sort of reset things along the way. We can go ahead and bring you through this way, and then all I need to do is fill all of that space. I need to fill, ooh, do I want to do, yeah, we'll do some residential. Oh, there's a gap there. Oh, it's because this should be an avenue. It's because I'm an idiot. That's why there's a gap there. All right, so what we're going to want to do with that is, I suppose, upgrade it to you, and that'll be just fine. We're probably going to want to bring some buses down here at some point, but we'll leave it be for the time being. We'll go ahead and swap out all the trees for the young linden as well, because it just looks absolutely fantastic. As I've said many a time, it's a good looking tree. And then all I need to do is commercial here, residential all the way through here, and that's got to be enough. That's absolutely got to be enough. I'm also considering doing, and I think I'm going to do it, I'm going to do some pedestrian paths through here because I think it's going to look good. And I'm going to use the amusement park path just simply because, well, no, I don't have move it. And the amusement park path doesn't connect nicely. We're not going to use the amusement park path. Never mind. We'll just use the regular one is what we'll do because it connects pretty well. And we'll just sort of push it straight through all of these spaces just like so. That is going to slightly mess with my notion of getting some good zoning in here, but I'm not super stressed about it. It's just one little area that we're playing with. And we'll just loop it around like this. We'll bring it over like this as well. And the only annoying thing about that is that because there's no crosswalk here, people can't actually cross those roads. But we can do something about that. So what I can do is I can go in here and I can play around with some different types of road. So if I do something like this, this, and this, and then I do the same on this side as well, and then we go and change those middle sections of road to have some trees on them, and then do this, that gives us some crosswalks. I mean, yes, it's a bit weird looking, but it does let people cross the street, which I think is going to be really important. So I kind of like that. I mean, yes, they have to come down, sort of go weirdly around, but it's a workaround. It's a way to do crosswalks in base game vanilla unmodded City Skylines, unless I'm missing a button that exists all of a sudden, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. So that's how I'm going to do it. That's how we'll get some crosswalks in there and make this a walkable section of Umber Hills. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and just expand that district into this new space. And while we're doing this, I want to tell you a story. I mentioned a couple of episodes ago that, you know, the old school vibe of Cities Skylines is making a bit of a return. I used to describe these series as one-man podcasts because that's kind of what they turn into. And it's mostly because if you are new around here, I'll explain it. I've played a lot of Cities Skylines. I've played a lot of this game. I have many, many, many hours in it. I've done all of the things that you can really expect to do with Cities Skylines, and a lot of it has been in video series. It's been in live streams. So I've talked about all of the things that I do in Cities Skylines quite a lot, pretty extensively. So that's why a lot of the time these videos will turn into what I describe as a one-man podcast, where I'll be playing the game but not really talking about the game. I'll talk about it here and there, as we just did for the last 10 minutes, but you get the idea. Anyway, I sat down to record this video and I was thinking to myself, what am I going to talk about today? Because I do want to start leaning a little bit more into that. I haven't really sat and told stories on YouTube in a hot minute. And it got me thinking, what can I talk about? And then I remembered specifically because I was making some food. But me and, okay, my girlfriend and I have been arguing for the last month about whether or not Philadelphia cream cheese belongs just in things, basically. That's not to say that she thinks it's bad, and it's not to say that I think it belongs in things that it shouldn't belong in, but I'll give you the example of tacos and burritos. Let me tell you something. Cream cheese in a taco is amazing. It's very good in a burrito as well. That's not to say that you don't do sour cream. All right. It's not to say that you don't do sour cream in your food. You can do that as well. You can do both, and it's very good. But apparently, I should clarify. There's a lot of people have told me I'm wrong for that, and that it does not belong in burritos or anything like that. There's a lot of people that get very upset when I suggest that cream cheese goes in a taco. It does. It's very good. And I will, this is a hill I am prepared to die on. It's very, very good. I am quite the enjoyer of cream cheese in a taco. And I bring that up because a while ago, I can't remember if it was a video or what it was. We're having some garbage problems. Let's actually very quickly go and have a look at our garbage stats. A while ago, I think it was on Twitter. It might have been on Discord. It might have been a live stream thing. I honestly don't remember. But I remember a while ago, I brought up the topic of whether or not a hot dog is a sandwich. And the argument then turns into, no, a hot dog is a taco, or yes, a hot dog is a sandwich. And this feels like a similar debate to me as to whether or not cream cheese belongs in a taco, because I've found some people agree with me when I bring this up. There's some people that are like, yeah, people hate it, but if you try it, it's really good. And there's other people that just despise it. And I love it. I love it so much because it's the dumbest thing. It's first off, it is the dumbest thing I could bring up in a Cities Skylines video. Let's get that out of the way. All right. This is one of the weirder topics I've brought up in a Cities video for a hot minute. And what's great is I know full well that once this video goes out, within an hour, I'm going to start getting DMs from a couple of friends that are like, dude, really? And I'm so excited for it because I love these kind of debates so much because they're so stupid. They're genuinely some of the dumbest arguments, not real arguments, but you know what I mean? They are some of the dumbest arguments you will ever have with anybody, yet everybody in these kinds of discussions gets so passionate about it to a ridiculous degree. And that's what I love about these kind of conversations, because people get so worked up about whether or not whether or not a hot dog's a sandwich or whether or not cream cheese belongs on a taco. And like I said, I mean, it's my video, so I'll tell you right now, it does. It's delicious. It's amazing. All right. It's so good. I absolutely adore it. And I do recommend trying it. It's very, very good. And just like a little bit of sour cream in there as well. It's just, anyway, It's been a topic of discussion for a while. It really has. And, it's so silly. It is so silly and I love it. I really do. It's one of the favorite like topics of discussion I've had lately. It's so good. Anyway, we are having some, we're having some traffic problems. Oh my God. We're having some traffic problems and, I'm noticing none of these guys are using the different lanes available here. So I'm going to try and swap out this roundabout to give it a few more lanes. We're going to give it 3 lanes right there. And I think that'll force traffic to start using... No, it didn't force traffic to start doing anything. They're still using that leftmost lane to continue straight across. There we go, 6,500 people. Beautiful. We got the wall-to-wall buildings as well, which is going to work brilliantly. Okay. What if I did 4 lanes on this roundabout? That gives us a dedicated turning lane. No, it doesn't. That's frustrating. There's a dedicated turning lane there. There isn't here. That's kind of a problem. What if I were to go and say 2 lanes right there? That gives us a dedicated turning lane now. So in theory, traffic should split into different lanes, I think. It doesn't look like it's doing it. There's no lane management in base game City Skylines. I think it is now splitting into different lanes in the roundabout, which is good. I don't know if it's helping with my traffic flow in the slightest though. So I think, honestly, I'm just going to swap that road back down to... actually 4-lane industrial road might not be a bad idea. We'll do 4-lane industrial roads, just leading the entire way up here and see if that does anything for traffic. I honestly don't know that it will. I'm not really that concerned if it does or doesn't. I also don't want zoning on this roundabout. That would be kind of ideal. And we'll just see. We'll pay attention to it over time. We'll see what happens. I am extending this road out here for the simple reason that is not the road I wanted. For the simple reason that I think it might not be a bad idea to connect this roundabout all the way over to the city at some point. I don't necessarily know where I'm going to connect it, but I think I did mention I wanted to do that. And honestly, it'll probably alleviate some of the stresses on these roads if I can go ahead and do that, because the garbage trucks will no longer need to hit the highway, which I think is going to be good. But we'll deal with that shortly, because what I want to deal with right now is going ahead and upgrading some of these buildings around here. Now, I will say that I'm not really inclined to do wall-to-wall buildings in this space. Not this central part well, maybe. Maybe we do. I don't know. If we have a little bit of a look, we do have wall-to-wall there. We have wall-to-wall here. I don't know. I actually don't know. The reason being that wall-to-wall buildings are a little bit smaller than, you know, the standard residential buildings. And I think there should be some tall buildings around here. I think that would look pretty good. So I don't know if I want to do wall-to-wall. I really don't. I think it might not be the time for it. Although I guess the question then becomes, what would be the time for it? I guess here, for example, could have some wall-to-wall buildings. If I just extend this district up a little bit and then tidy this guy up, what we can do is go to specialization, say wall-to-wall right there. And then maybe, yeah, I think we'll start with wall-to-wall buildings here. I'm going to do them here as well. And then this is going to be standard. And that's the 3 spaces that I'm going to swap out the residential zoning on. So this might be a terrible idea, because what I'm about to do is essentially just clear out a massive chunk of residential zoning, but it'll rebuild in time. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. So we'll just fill that space in so I don't accidentally, you know, fill in the space around that school. We'll fill these guys in as well. So we get that nice and neat, just like so. And then all of this gets filled in, all of this gets filled in, and we'll see how that goes. These guys, I don't think are going to be... Oh, they are going to be affected by that. Okay. I'll tell you what we'll do then. Let me expand this district ever so slightly. So just expand it to those buildings right there so that they are in fact part of the district. Expand you to those buildings right there so they are in fact part of the district. Chop that out of there and chop that out of there-ish. In fact, take that building out of there completely so that we don't have, you know, an extra building. And what we'll do, honestly, just clear all of that out and then fill all of it with residential. We'll take out these smaller buildings and exactly the same thing here. This is going to be a lot of residential that we're pulling out of here, but as and when it rebuilds, it'll be good. It'll definitely be good. We can also go ahead and do some paths just here so people can kind of get through, which I think will be great. We could potentially do similar elsewhere. I'm not really too concerned about it. What I want to see is some high density buildings appearing, and we do see them. There we go. We're going to get these wall-to-wall buildings. Wait, they're not wall-to-wall. We're going to get these wall-to-wall buildings over here, and I forgot that they're horrifically modern. I may have forgotten about that detail, but they, I don't know. They look neat. They do. They look neat. I kind of like them. We could arguably do some wall-to-wall commercial in there as well. And we do have commercial demand now that I think about it. So let's see. Let's rip the commercial out of here and replace it with the high density. And we'll also go back into here. We'll go to here and get the wall-to-wall stuff as well. So we'll have wall-to-wall commercial here, wall-to-wall residential here, high density residential all across the board. Not all across the board, but across a few sections of the city. And I think that'll be good. I'm also wondering when I'm going to turn my attention to this space, because I do still want to turn that into something. And I'm also wondering when I get another tile, because if I can get this one, what I can do is push this highway back a little bit, and then I can bring some districts kind of around this space. Because I think the plan, to be quite honest, is going to be get the crematorium, which admittedly needs 1,400. Ooh, maybe not. Maybe we don't do that. Where could I put a crematorium? That's something. I might want a couple of like permanent spots for crematoriums. I guess maybe here. Do I have like any unique church looking things? I forgot we put the stock exchange. I could make ridiculous money with that. This, if I'm not mistaken, is the creator's library. This is a tribute to the modding community. That's the City Skylines 2 logo. That's also the City Skylines. This is a countdown to it, isn't it? This is an actual real-time countdown to City Skylines 2, which is pretty cool, honestly. It'd be nice to put it up here. We'll figure out somewhere for it, though. But what I'm looking for is some kind of like, how much is the Cathedral? It's 500,000. I'm almost tempted to, I mean, we almost have 500,000, but I'm almost tempted to say that this little like square here, I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put the Cathedral in there, and I'm gonna put some graveyards around it, some cemeteries. So let me do this. It's a pretty good size as well. It's 30 across. I'm hoping the Cathedral can go central. If it can't, I'll figure it out. But 30 across. Ooh, maybe we flatten this out first before I get a little bit too crazy with it. Yeah, it is on a slope, which is kind of a problem. So grab this bit and let's just try and level this all off as best we possibly can. I don't need it to be perfectly straight across the cliff there. That would look a little bit silly, but just enough space that I can build something kind of nice and kind of detailed. That's sort of what I'm looking for. We'll bring this out so it's a little bit asymmetrical. We still have a nice straight line across there. Push this back a little bit so it curves out more naturally. Push that back a little bit, and then just hit this bit with a nice smoothing brush. And it's not the most natural looking thing, but it's gonna do the job that I want it to do. So 30 across, let's say from here to there. That looks pretty good to me. And then what we'll do is go maybe 15 and say 15. And that'll be pretty good. I don't know if I'm going to get the Cathedral in the middle of this. I really have no idea, but we'll find out. That actually does look central. That's really good news. The fact that this thing looks like it'll go central. So what I want to do, so a 30 is the midpoint. So this should be 15 to 900. 900, it absolutely is. What I want to do is I want to have the Cathedral be back a little bit. So 300 there and 300 from here. And then we'll put the Cathedral on that road. I think what we'll also do is maybe get rid of the trees. At least in front of it. We'll have them down the sides, but in front we'll have it just sort of pushed back like this. A lot of money for that thing. That is a lot of money. But I think that's okay. And then what we can also do is maybe... Actually, maybe these roads instead with the median would be a better idea. I think that'll look better. So something like this. We'll have the median sort of come up in front of the cathedral down here as well. And then what I'm wondering is how big is a cemetery? It's pretty big. It's a pretty chunky building. So what we can do actually is, well, we can push a road up here. We can push a road up here. And then I can put the cemeteries like this. I don't necessarily want to put them right in front of the roads, although having those walls kind of following the road like that, that's actually kind of cool. I don't hate that. I'm gonna be honest, I don't hate that. I'd be tempted to do more of them as well. I don't know if that's maybe excessive, but I'm slightly tempted to do more of them just because I think it might look cool. So let me just push the terrain back a little bit. We don't need to go too crazy. We don't need to have too many, but I think just 4 graveyards in here will be the way to go. So what are we gonna do? We'll go back another 5, and we'll go back another 5. And then we'll do the same just here and here as well. We can do cemetery, cemetery. And then do I want these to connect around? Do I want traffic to be able to sort of come down through here? I don't think I do. I don't think that's something I want. So what we'll do is have this just sort of cut across like so. Oh, we're a small city already. That gives us monorails and cable cars and trains. That's kind of exciting. I'm sort of looking forward to getting some trains in here as well. That'll be pretty good. Space already occupied. Okay. Well, there we go. I don't mind that too much, to be quite honest. I like that these look like they're connected together. It gives me some space to play around with nature and parks and things like that. It's a weird looking space, but I think it will do exactly what I'm looking for it to do. And it means I can start to move the other cemetery out of here, or out of where it is. Now, how are people gonna get here? That's the real question. I guess an avenue. So a 4-lane, ooh, bicycle lanes would be kind of nice to bring down here. But I think what we'll do is a 4-lane road with wide sidewalks and trees. What does it look like? That's a bit weird looking. Although at the same time, it's almost kind of nice. In a way, it's this like nice peaceful road that leads down towards the cemetery. I don't mind that too much, to be completely honest. I really don't mind that at all, actually. Let's see, can I smooth this out so it doesn't look terrible? I don't know if it's going to give me that option. Let's just try and smooth all of this a little bit. That looks all right. We'll hit it with a smoothing brush like so. And we should be able to get a road that goes up there kind of nicely. And I think we'll try and connect it to this guy. So let me bring this guy down first, which is going to be our 6-lane road with median trees. And it's just going to go... Honestly, it's just going to come straight down like this for now. And this guy is going to be coming off the side like that. If I can get it to work, which I don't know if I can. Looking at it, it doesn't look like it wants to behave. So let's bring this guy right back. Let's try and... Oh, can I smooth that terrain at all? I mean, I can level it for sure. I can hit it with a bit of a smoothing brush. I don't know how well these guys are going to want to, you know, connect to each other, but we'll hopefully figure it out. Is that a straight road coming down there? Oh, it is not. It absolutely is not. If this was City Skylines 2, I could just punch straight through there, but I can't do that. Okay. This should be fine. I think what I can do is just use road guidelines to line this up. So this guy goes to here, and then this guy goes like that. And it's not perfect, but it'll do. What we can also potentially do is come straight off of there, or straight off of there. It is going to give us some weird zoning, which I really don't love. So actually, let me try something else. I really don't want the weird zoning. Let's have this guy, I guess. Let's just do a right-hand turn there for now. This would come up to about there. Ooh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? Let's see. So there gives us some good zoning. That does not give us good zoning. But I suppose what we can do is just turn the zoning off on this road completely. And that'll be our way down to the church. And I think that's fine. I think that's all right. It gives us space to build in here. This can be like a nice neighborhood. This could be like a little neighborhood that goes down to the beach and stuff like that. We could arguably have this road maybe turn sort of to the right and kind of come down here at an angle. I think that'll be kind of cool. But I like this. I like this sitting up here. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm also thinking it's slightly overdone in terms of trees. So I'm going to get rid of all of the zoning for one, just because I don't think we need it. I'm probably not going to build anything here, and it does tidy it up a little bit. And then I'll put my own trees in here. We'll decorate around it with some fences and make it look pretty good. But first, it needs water, and it's going to need power as well. So we'll bring some pipes straight down like so. And then in terms of power, I think for the time being, we'll just run a power line up to about there, and that should be just fine. And now what we can do is go to you and start emptying this thing. And then we'll go to this guy and we can say, swap out those hearses for the luxury hearse. There's no way anyone's getting buried next to a cathedral and not getting taken there in a luxury hearse. I'm also thinking that traffic around here could be kind of chaotic because this is a tourist attraction, but we'll figure it out is what we'll do. I'm also wondering how I'm going to get some fences in here. And I think I actually know exactly how I'm going to do that. I'm going to need zoning to do it. But if I enable zoning on those bits of road and those bits of road, I think what I can do is I can use this guy, the small park main gate. So I put one there, I put one there, and I put one there. And then in theory, I can just run these, I can run these fences around and everything should be fine. So run those to there. This guy's going to go to here. This guy's going to go to here. I don't know if these are going to line up all that well. They absolutely don't. So that's all right. So this goes away. This little main gate goes here. And we just connect those together. Connect those guys together. Get rid of the main gate. And they really don't connect together? Are you kidding me? Why? Distance too short. Okay. So can I do this? I absolutely can. All right. And then I can do this as well. So there we go. I'm going to have to obviously get rid of some things here to really make this work, but I'm fairly sure I can do this. I also might want to, yeah, let's get rid of those park districts very quickly. I'm pretty sure. So that one's fine. I think to get these guys to work, I might need to do something slightly different. So this and this, I think I can do that. So can I get you to come down here? Kind of. I can get you to come over this way, you to come over this way, and you to go there. Take those out, and I should be able to connect them together, which I absolutely can. And then I just connect the corners. There we go. Perfect. So now we have some really nicely laid out fences, and all I need to do is put some trees in there, and we got a pretty good looking little thing going. I'm also wondering, do I do the large oak trees? I think I do. I want a properly sized one. There we go. Nice big oak tree right there. Take out those ones. We'll not do one in front of the cathedral. I think that would be silly. But what we can do is get a little bit more free form with them back here. Maybe just like a nice couple of big oak trees in that corner. We'll do a few little plants down in this corner. A couple of little plants up in that corner. A little bit of color perhaps coming across here. A couple of different types of bushes around that as well. A couple of those bushes down here. Maybe a nice young linden in that corner. What about one of these guys up here as well? Just to be a bit different. I do like that. And then what we'll do in this middle section is a little bit of foliage. Nothing too crazy. And then if I could get a nice big one of these trees, just something like that, I think looks okay. I think that's all right. I don't mind that. You can see the back of the cathedral as you're coming down. You've got these guys in front. We could do a little bit of color in there if we wanted to, but this is pretty good. I like this a lot. I think this looks pretty good. We can decorate around it shortly. I want to see how this is going. It's getting there. We are having power problems though, which is surprising because I thought we were doing pretty well in terms of power. The power problems might be because there's not enough water though, which is definitely true. There is not enough water and we're getting water from here. So let's just expand our water a little bit and that should keep us good for a while. If we're now providing water to you, do we have power for all of you? We absolutely do. Not bad. Not bad at all. And I'm also realizing that this is all coming together as well. Daffodil Square admittedly looks kind of silly. I'm going to say it. It does. It does look kind of silly. Valley District, on the other hand, I think looks pretty good, except for these guys, but those are commercial buildings, so that kind of makes sense. In fact, maybe we should swap those out for... Wait, did we do that? We didn't do that style in Umber District. Oh. Okay. All right. Let's take this out of here. Let's swap in some high density right there. And I'm kind of thinking I'm going to try wall to wall. No, you know what? I don't know what style we have on these districts right now. We'll just swap these guys out for high density as well and see what exactly we're working with. Right now, Umber District is default. We can do European suburbia, modern city center could look really good for those commercial buildings. I also don't know what shopping malls looks like. I've got no idea what that is. We'll do modern city center though. That's only going to mess with the commercial buildings too, which is fantastic. And then Valley District, given that it's called Valley District, I think is 100% going to have wall-to-wall commercial. Because those are colorful and vibrant, and they kind of look like generally, you know, the customers, they're going to be like, oh my God. So Valley District is... I watched White Chicks recently. I'm just going to... yeah. If you know, you know. All right. If you know, if you know, you know. All right. I'll tell you what I'm. I'll tell you what I'm also gonna do. I'm gonna hold it together. Is what I'm gonna do. I am gonna hold it together. I am a professional. I'm gonna swap out these these buildings on the corners because it will it'll look better. That's why. It will look better having these guys all connected together. So yeah, I think the modern city center was definitely the right call. It makes the district just look a little bit more dense, which is kind of what we're going for. So, you know, I mean, when it comes to districts, when it comes to districts, I have a very simple rule. All right. Well, two very simple requirements when it comes to my districts. All right. I like my districts like I like. I'm not going to finish that sentence because the follow-up was going to be that I like my districts thick and chunky. Oh, God. Oh, man. I'm glad I find me funny. Good Lord. Okay. Well, we got some high density stuff in here, which is great news. I'm genuinely cracking myself up. I'm genuinely like, I'm almost at the point of cracking myself up to tears. Oh man, it's been a weird few days. It's been a really weird few days. All right, let's just get rid of the zoning on these roads here, just to tidy that up a little bit. And in terms of what I want to do around this, honestly, I think the easiest thing I could do around this is it's going to be some fencing. I think it's going to have to be some fencing, and I need district zoning back. So let's do this. Let's do this, and let's do this, because I don't need too much. I just need to be able to get the corners on there is really what I'm looking for. So bring that up to there, bring that over to there. And we'll do the same over on this side as well. And I'm trying really hard to keep this to keep this video going, but after that joke, I don't think I can. Oh, good God. Wow. Some of the things, man. This is what I said, right? It's like, you know, well, what does it mean when it's like City Skylines is this is why I've never done a podcast. Right? This is why I've never actually done a podcast, because this is what it would be. It would just be this kind of like stupid, I don't even know. And that's the problem. All right, can I get this to connect around? I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this. I think I'm gonna have to have a little straight section there, a little straight section there. And can I curve that around? Really? Oh man, that's rough. All right, so we are gonna have to have the hard corners on that. I guess we'll bring this down to, let's see, down to about there should be fine for now. And there should be fine for that side as well. I'm not really too interested in having people walk out here. I think it is just going to be important that it's safe. Although they could walk out into this part. I guess that wouldn't hurt if we did like a little like park thing in here. That could be kind of nice. I should probably also do some curves on this, but we'll keep it relatively rigid just so that's a little easier to build that way. So something like this, we'll have it come down to about there, and we'll have it connect somewhere along here. Right about there, I guess. Should be fine. There we go. I don't mind that. So we'll take out this, and I guess we'll take out this. We'll do an entrance right down there, and we'll just sort of connect this together. So it's going to be like a little enclosed. Well, it doesn't have to be enclosed, actually. We can do a second entrance down there. So we'll do Amity Park. It can come down this way, and we'll do a little second entrance just right about. I think right about there is pretty good, actually. I like that a lot. So you can kind of go in, go around, do your thing, and then, you know, get out, basically. So we'll do a path like this. I think we'll have this guy sort of come back. Let's see, is that angle snapping? Angle snapping is on. I'm not too worried about the length of the path here. I'm 100% going to have it follow the sort of the same angles as well. So something kind of like that. Something kind of like that. Down to there. That doesn't really connect all that well, though. What if I did this one first? To bring this over. I don't know how well this is going to work. But bring this over to about there should be fine. And it doesn't really want to play ball. Okay. I'm going to have to eyeball this, I think. That's honestly good enough. I'm willing to make that work. This thing unfortunately doesn't fit anywhere. This is, oh, farmland level 5. Don't mind if I do. We got a food factory out of that. This is a park cafe. I don't know if a cafe right next to the cathedral is inappropriate, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then we can do a restroom there as well. I'd also like to sort of freely place this a little bit, just so it's a little bit more in line with the road, if it's going to let me do that. So right about there. Does that actually connect to the path? Not really. Let's just put it on the path so it kind of looks the part. And I guess that's okay. I don't mind that too much. What I will do is just sort of surround it with some trees so you can't really immediately see the back of some, you know, toilets when you're visiting a graveyard. It's not going to be the nicest of things. You know, it's like oh man. You know what? I'm not going to continue. I'm not going to continue down that line. I'm going to draw the line at I'm going to draw the line there. There was I don't know what's gotten into me tonight, but there's some jokes coming to mind that just nope. No. Nope. It's not happening. What is this? Flame tree. Ooh. Oh, that's very cool. I do want a flame tree in there. I think that's kind of neat. And then we can also do my usual pink tree just over here. I think that's pretty cool. We can probably get a couple of the young linden trees kind of along the fences here as well. So something kind of like so. We'll bring them kind of around just to sort of fill in the gaps a little bit. And I think that's okay. It doesn't necessarily block the view, which is what I'm wanting to avoid doing. And then we can do some little bushes just sort of dotted around a little bit. And I think that's pretty solid. Maybe some bushes over here as well. Some of these guys just to fill in some of the empty spaces. A little bit of pink in there. And maybe a young linden there. And there and there. It's a little overgrown, I'll be honest, but I think it's nice. I think that's it's a nice little thing to have. That right there would be one of the most popular, well, maybe not most, it's a great view for a cafe, let's be honest. Like, I would go there. Well, I'd go there, I'd go to that restroom. I'd be like, who are you? Albert Webb. I'd be like Albert. I'd just sit outside, just sit outside the toilet and enjoy the view. Albert's living the life is what he's doing. Albert is absolutely living the life. Now, we are running into some issues. Oh, this is done. Good. We are running into some issues. We have massive industrial demand. We have pretty substantial commercial demand. I'm not gonna touch those just yet, because I think what I'm gonna do is leave it there for today. I think we've made pretty good progress. The population is at 12,500, so we've more than doubled it already. We've built this, which is going to deal with death care for the foreseeable future. It also gives us a little bit of tourism, which is kind of neat. And actually thinking about it, I should bring some buses down here is what I should do. So let's have this bus just stop here and here. Let's have you come down to, I want to say here, or like maybe in front of the park would be a better place for the bus to stop. So the bus comes down to the park. That's great. We need to swap out this road here for this guy, so the buses actually have some space to pull into, and that should be pretty good. That absolutely should be pretty good. I also want to look at my buses. 720 per week, passengers 217 on bus line number 2. Can I swap that bus out for something else? So right now it has a capacity, it's the biofuel bus, right? Capacity 30. We could go for this one. We can go for like articulated biofuel buses as well. Let's go for the, I do like some of these other buses as well. I'm going to be honest with you. They do look pretty cool. I don't think I want to go too crazy though. I think what we'll do is go for the articulated biofuel on, we'll go for the biofuel. We'll go for the normal biofuel bus on this guy, since they're pretty popular. And then these guys, what, have a capacity of 30 right now. Let's just up all of them to a capacity of 40. I think that'll be a pretty good idea. Just get more people on the buses, a little bit higher capacity, should be good for us. We can go and have a look at industry. This road is going to be very, very busy because we have a lot of buses going out, but that's going to be good. More people on the buses is only going to be a good thing. So I think, like I said, we're absolutely going to leave it there for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I don't know what this episode has been, but it has been something. It has definitely been something. Thank you so much for watching. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.